24/7 with your home and auto bundle from Progressive.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out the right caption to post about these.
Maybe something like, I have protection, just need a lifeguard.
What about that emoji with a shocked face?
Or maybe flooded with emotion.
That's too much. Try Tuesdays are cray.
You know, technically you don't have to post everything that happens online. Believe me, life is meaningless without affirmation, am I right?
The Tempur-Pedic Breeze makes sleep feel cool and comfortable, so no more sweating all night or blasting the air conditioning, because the Tempur-Breeze pulls heat away from your body, so the mattress feels up to 10 degrees cooler all night long.
Still dealing with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease symptoms despite treatment?
Then you know there could be unpredictability.
Workarounds. And avoiding.
It was time to make a change.
I changed. I changed too.
My doctor recommended Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
I got rapid symptom relief at 2 weeks. Check. Rinvoq helped visibly repair my intestinal lining. Check.
I got lasting remission, meaning few to no symptoms.
Check. Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occur. Severe event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked or pregnant or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Put UC and Crohn's in check. And keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq.
From the first pitch
What a scene here at the Rogers Center.
to the final at bat,
And the Blue Jays win it.
162 chances to witness something unforgettable.
The Blue Jays giving everything they've got. Got him!
Because the infinite possibility.
I want to know for this city.
Every moment covered on Sportsnet.
This is the Price is Right tonight.
Bigger, better than you have ever seen before. If this is right, he gets a car. Yes. It is electric in here. Oh my God. We're going to change someone's life tonight with big plays, big wins, and big money.
Join me on the Price is Right tonight.
Tuesdays on City TV or stream it on City TV Plus.
25-year-old Eric Koppel walked into police headquarters and confessed to the murders of Adrian Insania and Leslie Mazzara. DNA tests confirmed that Eric Koppel's blood was at the crime scene and that his saliva was on the cigarette butts found outside.
I don't know if I exactly remember the moment when I got the news. I just knew I was elated. I was very happy to find out that on a rare piece of evidence that we had the suspect's DNA.
Koppel was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Investigators learned that Koppel blamed Adrian Insania for the breakup of his engagement to Lily Prudhomme.
It appeared that some people, and possibly Adrian, were telling Lily that she could do better and that she shouldn't be any longer involved in this relationship with Eric Koppel, that he wasn't good enough for her or right for her.
On the night of the murders, Koppel went to a Halloween party and ran into his ex-fiancée, Lily Prudhomme. According to witnesses, the two argued. Koppel wanted to set a new date for their wedding, but Lily wasn't interested.
Can you just leave me alone for the rest of the night? Please.
After the party, Koppel returned home. He admitted to police that he was drunk. The fight with his ex-fiancée only added to the anger and bitterness he felt towards Adrian Insania. So, he took revenge. Prosecutors believe Koppel stood outside the house where Adrian lived with her 2 roommates, casing the place and smoking cigarettes. He used a knife to pry open the window and accidentally dropped the packet of zip ties on the floor with his DNA. Leslie's bedroom was the first room at the top of the stairs, and he killed her first. He then went across the hall to Adrian's room. She fought back aggressively. At some point, he cut his hand and bled profusely as he rushed out of the house.
At that point, based on what he's told us at least, that he took his clothing and burned them in a fire pit that he had in his backyard. Went back to sleep, and then the next day went to Lily's house to console her after Lily called him to tell him that Adrian had been attacked.
No one knows why Koppel spared Lauren Meadza. Some think he didn't know about the downstairs bedroom.
I don't know whether or not Koppel knew that there was a room there, and I don't know whether or not he knew that there was a person in there.
I just had a reckoning with myself and really understood that Adrian was the target and somebody really wanted my child dead. And then I thought, how stupid was I? Of course, Adrian was the target. Of course, we all know it's someone in the inner circle.
If we had known those kind of circumstances earlier in the investigation, I'm sure he would have come into our radar sooner. But again, we can always look back and wish we would have done things differently.
A few months before he confessed, Eric Koppel patched things up with Lily Prudhomme, and the two married. In a bitter irony, the couple asked Arlene Allen, Adrian and Sonia's mother, to be part of the wedding ceremony. Lily claims she never suspected Eric was the killer. In December of 2006, Eric Koppel pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Had he not pled guilty, Koppel would have been eligible for the death penalty.
And I think that was a very real possibility. Accepting a life without possibility of parole plea was probably the best deal he was going to get.
Were it not for a few drops of blood, 2 cigarette butts, and some skin cells on a rubber band, Eric Koppel might have gotten away with murder. But ever-advancing DNA technology provided a profile so accurate, it was only a matter of time before he was exposed as the killer.
This case turned on those cigarette butts.
Things that would have been not even considered 20 years ago as evidence are very crucial to cases nowadays. And again, the sensitivity of these testing analysis and DNA, it's just incredible what we can find in crime scenes now.
Every homicide that you see, there's always a twist to the case that's a little bit different from the next case. And so that's sort of what makes this work so interesting and so challenging.
It was the DNA, it was the cigarette butts. So once again, at any crime scene, it's very crucial to do a good job and collect all the evidence. And most crimes are solved by the physical evidence.
Up next, her death was first ruled an accident.
He thought he was going to get away with it.
Until the autopsy proves otherwise.
Fire, in this case, was used in an attempt to cover a murder.
But who wanted this woman dead, and why?
Greed and money are probably the oldest motives in the world for a murder.
But would he get away with it?
He thought he was a pretty smart guy. That was the mistakes he made.
Just after dusk in November of 2000, firefighters in Augusta, Georgia were dispatched to a mobile home fire on the south side of town.
They're tinder boxes, and you're just talking about a matter of minutes before the entire mobile home is completely engulfed.
It took 10 minutes for firefighters to bring the blaze under control. When they did, they found the homeowner, Edith Ann Haynes, dead in the bathroom.
She became overwhelmed by the smoke and the heat and was unable to, escape the fire and died inside.
Edith Ann Haynes, known to friends as Ann, was divorced and was on disability from her job at the Kendall Company, makers of surgical dressings. A preliminary investigation indicated the fire started in a spare bedroom used as a storage space. Officially, The cause of the blaze was ruled undetermined, but it was believed to be an electrical fire.
It was right at the time weather started getting a little cooler and might have been some heat on, and that might have started the fire.
At the autopsy, the medical examiner expected to find evidence of smoke inhalation. Instead, he found no soot or